So I don't know about you guys, but I personally don't care about anything going on in Ukraine. I don't care about anything going on in Israel. The only thing I care about is where our money and our troops are going. And as far as I'm concerned, all of that should be here, invested here. Our troops should be defending our country. The money that we're sending overseas should be instead spent here on American people and on American interest. So it makes me incredibly happy to see what's going on with the border as of the past few days, whether it's the new terrorist designations for the cartels over there, or if it's the fact that we're sending military to secure the border now. We're preparing to deport all these people that shouldn't be here. The birthright citizenship executive order that Donald Trump signed, it is being tested right now in a few states, but hopefully he can get that through, or we can get that through, because we are the only country on the planet that has birthright citizenship. I can't go to Canada, I can't go to Mexico and have a kid there and then they just magically get citizenship. That's not how that works. We're one of the few, very few, one of like 2 places on the planet that you can come here, not be a citizen, and have a citizen child. That doesn't make any sense. You cannot go anywhere else on the planet except for like one other place. I forget where it was, but we're basically like the only place that does that, and it's taken advantage of to just a great degree. But we have this from Benny Johnson. A lot of people are talking about it, but I found his first, so we're going to use his clip. Breaking: President Trump's 1,500 troops have officially arrived at the southern border to assist in combating Biden and Kamala's border crisis. So here in this video, you can see that they're just unloading stuff, and we'll get to that, but they're doing razor wire. They're helping set up makeshift walls, fencing. They're helping, target immigrants and stuff like that, and helping deport them if necessary. They're just there to help, and I love to see it, because the past 4 years we haven't had a secure border, and I am all for having the military here defending our border. It needs to be secured. We need to stop letting people cross it, and I would love to crack down on the cartels that are bringing human trafficking and drugs into the country. So yes, definitely great decision, and yeah, I hope it goes great. We have this also from Colin Rugg. Just in, Border Patrol encounters at the southern border are down a whopping 35% in the first 3 days of Trump's presidency. He said this is the Trump effect. According to Fox News, encounters over the past 3 days were 35% lower than the final 3 days of Biden's presidency, which doesn't mean a whole lot, but it's still great to see. Numbers fluctuate sharply at the border on a daily and weekly basis, but numbers have been relatively low since June. That's probably because of the election and people knew that Trump would likely be getting in office. Why would you come to the country if you know you're just going to get thrown back out, right? At least that's the hope. There's actually a story, I don't have it pulled up, but there's stories of migrants that are now self-deporting. So instead of just waiting to get picked up by ICE, they're just leaving on their own, which is great. Please, if you're watching this and you're an illegal, make our job easier and just freaking leave. Please, we don't want you here. You are not welcome here. The border is closed, and if you got in before it was closed, leave immediately. Exit stage right. Get out. We don't want you here. Additional restrictions by Trump are making encounters plummet even lower. The news comes out as the Trump admin has started launching deportation raids. Trump is also reportedly gearing up to deploy as much as 10,000 troops to the southern border. I'm all for it. Send as many as we can. In fact, take all the funding out of Ukraine and Israel and put it at the border and our military. That's what I want to see. The CBP, which is something Border Patrol, I forget. Central Border Patrol, maybe. But anyway, they created this app while Biden was in office, and it was for illegal immigrants to schedule a time or a date to enter the country illegally. Like, outrageous. Absolute just disgrace. The people that set this up. Excuse me, but there's this hilarious clip that was going around. It was being shared by Democrats. I guess it's supposed to make me feel bad, but it's just hilarious. It's this woman crying. She's like, oh my God, I can't get into the country now and get free stuff. Yeah, like, good. I don't care. Go back to wherever you came from. There was someone trying to argue with me on Twitter yesterday. They were like, oh, you just don't have compassion for people. And I replied to them promptly, and I said, I don't have compassion for people that want to come here and get free stuff while also committing a crime to get in. I'm all for legal immigration. Go through the legal means. The process to get in legally does need a rework, but that does not mean you get to break our laws. Just because we have a faulty system that needs improvement does not mean you get to just bend the rules to your liking. But of course, we live in a very self-centered, selfish society now. But I'm gonna play this clip because I thought it was hilarious, and the mainstream media was trying to use it as like a guilt trip, but I just think it's funny. I don't know why it's so quiet. Right here, let me go back. I'll read it for those that don't speak Spanish like me. That's what I wonder. That's what I wonder. What's going to happen to my life? What's going to happen to my life? Where am I? A displaced mother from Colombia. I have nowhere to live. I have nothing. I came looking for shelter for my family. What is going to happen to my life? How? What happens to my life? I ask myself. Yeah, terrible. I feel for this woman, but at the same time, it's not our problem. It's as simple as that. Like, oh, you want to have compassion for people. Oh, you're trying to be a Christian. You want to help people. It's like, yeah, sure. I'd love to help people, but I think there's plenty of people that need help that are citizens. We don't need to be focusing on people that shouldn't be here. There's veterans on the street. This woman can come in and get shelter when we have 0 veterans on the street and we cut homeless by half of what it is now, at least. But until then, I quite frankly could not care less. It's as simple as that. I mean, why do I care about this woman getting shelter when we just had all these fires in California? I'm much more worried about those people having shelter than this random woman who shouldn't be here having shelter. That's just my opinion. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that are like, oh, but, look at her. She's crying. She's a mother. What is she supposed to do? Maybe go back to wherever you came from. She said Colombia. Go back to Colombia. Make a living there. Go start a business. Go fix things there. Why is it our responsibility to take you in when your country gets so screwed up that you can't do anything there? Another comment I got was, someone complaining like, oh, well, what are they supposed to do? Just start a coup, go against the gangs and some other stupid crap. And my answer to you is yes. Why is it incumbent upon us, the American citizens, the American taxpayer, to fund your life and to fund your shelter and fund your eating habits, whatever, fund anything of yours, quite frankly, when you have a country that you came from and there is no reason that your country can't be just as great as the United States. The United States is a relatively new country in the grand scheme of things, and we in the last 250 years have become the single greatest superpower the world has ever known. You can do the same thing. Colombia can do the same thing. All you need to do is get a bunch of people, or not even a bunch of people, you just need to get people there to start working on bettering their culture, bettering their society, bettering their country. But no, you just want to come here and reap the benefits of the taxpayers here and get a bunch of free crap. I say, screw you, go home, and your home ain't here. That's really all I have to say on that. But we go into this article from the Daily Caller. I'm excited for this too. Trump admin to deport 5,000 illegal migrants using military aircraft, and that's just the start, baby. Those rookie numbers, gotta pump those numbers up. I want to see 1 million deported by the end of the year. That's what I want to see. Even more than that if we can, but. No, get all these motherfuckers out. And I'm trying not to cuss during my videos anymore because I've noticed that YouTube does not like me cussing. But no, seriously, get these people the frick out of here, man. They don't need to be here. I'm over it. The Trump administration will be utilizing military aircraft to assist in the removal of thousands of illegal migrants out of the United States. The Department of Defense will provide military aircraft in support of the government efforts to deport roughly 5,000 illegal migrants from California and Texas. The Department of Defense announced in a Wednesday statement that military assistance follows a national emergency declaration made by President Donald Trump, a move that is helping his administration better utilize military assets as he embarks on his immigration enforcement agenda. Let's see. First, Department of Defense will begin augmenting its forces at the southwest border with an additional 1,500 ground personnel, as well as helicopters with associated crews and intelligence analysis to support increased detection and monitoring efforts. Excuse me. Acting Secretary of Defense Robert Sales said in a statement, "This represents a 60% increase in active duty ground forces since President Trump was sworn in on Monday. Second, the department will provide military airlift to support DHS deportation flights of more than 5,000 illegal aliens from San Diego, California, and El Paso, Texas sectors detained by Customs and Border Protections. DHS will provide in-flight law enforcement, and the State Department will obtain the requisite diplomatic clearances and provide host nation notification." So on his first day back in office, Trump signed an executive order that declared an emergency at the U.S.-Mexico border, giving broader authority to mitigate illegal immigration into the country. The administration is deploying more than 1,000 active duty troops, which are already there. They arrived early yesterday morning, and more than 1,000 active duty troops to help Customs and Border Patrol officials with enforcement efforts. Great. I love it. Like I said, screw all these other countries that we're sending money to, screw these foreign wars that we're getting into. I'm all for putting our troops at the border, securing the border, and taking out the cartel, most definitely. And I recently got into an argument with someone talking about if you can't fight in a war, if you're not willing to fight in a war, then you shouldn't have an opinion on going to war or something like that, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, that's like the same argument that pro-abortion people make, like, oh, you don't have a uterus, you don't get to have an opinion. No, I'm an American. I get to have an opinion on whatever the hell I want. It doesn't matter if I'm willing to fight or I'm able to fight. In my case, I actually did want to join the military, but I have medical issues. I cannot join the military. So it's just a stupid argument. Like, we live in America. I can have an opinion on whatever the hell I want, just like you can. If your opinion is that I can't have an opinion, I genuinely don't care. Another just funny thing. I love arguing with people online. That's probably why I make YouTube videos. But while on the campaign trail, Trump repeatedly pledged to conduct the largest deportation operation in the U.S. history. Tom Homan, a former acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, is tasked with leading deportation efforts. In addition to the exclusive executive, I am exhausted, my bad, guys. Executive orders handed down by Trump, the administration has published several directives that make it easier for ICE agents to apprehend and deport illegal migrants. The Department of Homeland Security announced a directive Tuesday and expands expedited removal, a policy that allows immigration enforcement officials to quickly remove illegal migrants from the U.S. by bypassing, weird phrasing there, bypassing the immigration court process from 100 miles within the international border to anywhere within the country. In another directive handed down Tuesday, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents will no longer be prohibited from conducting activities in so-called sensitive locations, areas like churches or schools where agents were previously not allowed to apprehend migrants. Is that what? I actually hadn't heard of that. Maybe I need to look into that more. So-called sensitive areas like churches or schools where agents were previously not allowed to apprehend migrants. That doesn't make any sense. If we have an illegal that we don't know their intentions, they could be a criminal. I mean, they are a criminal for crossing the border illegally, but if they're near a school, I feel like that should be more of a priority than any other location. Like, we do not want random illegals near our children. So that I mean, I guess it doesn't matter now, it's been changed, but that is definitely an interesting bit of information there. So as far as the airplanes go that they've sent over there, they have 4 C-130s as well as C-17 aircraft that will be used in the deportation flights and other military planes that will be called on if needed according to task and purpose. Around 100 airmen will be involved in the removal operations. So definitely great news in my humble opinion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that we should give amnesty to all the people that are have already crossed the border. How do you feel about birthright citizenship? Let me know your opinions down below. Give me your comments down below. And if you disagree with anything I said, let me know in the comments down below. I will be more than happy to have you on and argue with me, or I will argue with you in the comments or argue with you on X. I'm all for discussion. My favorite discussions are with people that disagree with me. But if you agree with me, I'm all for hearing that too. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode, and subscribe for more. Thank you.